Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Facebook Live today. I'm so glad to see so many of our viewers with us. And if you're here in the audience, please let us know where you're joining us from today. I see Annette from Ohio, Amanda from the UK, Lillian from Texas, Rosemary from England. So we have users from all over the world. And if you haven't yet, please do let us know where you're joining us from, what the weather is like there. I know today is the last day of September. So in some places, I know that our viewers are gearing up for the colder weather. And we're so glad to bring you these Facebook Lives as you may be spending more time at home. So we hope that these will really help teach you a little bit about your family history and MyHeritage tools and features, and start you on your journey wherever you are in your journey, whether you're a beginner or more of an advanced user. So welcome, and thank you everyone for joining us today. My name's Esther, and I'm so glad to be your host. I'd like to tell you about a little contest that we have going on today before we start with the main show. So if anyone that is there in the audience would like to enter, all they have to do is leave a comment in the comment section and let us know what you enjoy about building your family tree on MyHeritage. So what we'd especially love to hear is if you've received any smart matches on MyHeritage, and I'm sure that our guest Ori will go into more detail about smart matches specifically and many, many other features on the family tree. So just leave a comment in the comment section and we will be choosing a winner after the questions at the end of today's session. And we hope to see lots and lots of comments from all of you. So please do. And with us today for a session on working with different family tree views on MyHeritage, there are various different views that you can see your family tree in on MyHeritage. And with us today, we have Uri Gonen. And Uri has been at MyHeritage since 2005. So one of our early employees, and he has been pivotal in many, many of our amazing features. He can tell us all about the different features that he has worked on at MyHeritage. And hello, Uri, how are you today?
Good. How is everyone?
Good, thank you. And Uri is joining us today from Toronto, my hometown.
Yes, both of us are from Toronto.
So thank you so much for joining us. And why don't you tell us a little bit about your different roles that you've had at MyHeritage?
Yeah, so as Esther said, I've been around since 2005 in MyHeritage. That'll be 15 years, doing various things in development, in product management, in business development, working with partners. So involved in pretty much everything throughout the years. One of the things that I've been working on lately is adding different views to the family tree, which is our core business, really. And this is what we're going to talk about today.
Fantastic. So let me bring up your slides. And before I do, before I bring up your slides, sorry, I didn't mention this before, but the winner of the contest that I was talking about before, the winner will receive a MyHeritage Complete Plan. So a Complete Plan is the best plan that we have on MyHeritage, and that includes unlimited family tree size, as well as free access to 12.5 billion historical records and access to all of our photo tools, MyHeritage Photo Enhancer and MyHeritage in Color. So please do add comments in the comment section and let us know how you like the different views of the family tree, which one you're using, and we'd love to hear from you. So I'll bring up your slides now, Uri.
Wonderful.
There we go.
Okay, so as we said, we're going to talk about family tree views on MyHeritage. And speaking of speaking of trees outside, in Toronto at least, the trees are changing colors already. We have lots of yellows and oranges and reds already starting. So let's talk about trees on MyHeritage. So as I said, family trees is the main focus of MyHeritage. Traditionally, is doing, providing tools for our members to build and share and collaborate on building your family trees. So here is my family tree that you can see here. And you can see lots of people, photos, dates, places, names, and different kind of things on the family tree. But what we're going to talk about is here you see on the top right corner of the screen, there is a way to kind of control which of the 4 different views of the family tree you want to work with or look at for your family tree. So you can switch between them at any given point, and you're working on the same tree with different kinds of ways of looking at it, but editing it and modifying it and managing it is the same. So we're going to start with the is what we saw here. This is our traditional view for looking at your tree. You can see here at the top left, it shows you who is the focus of the tree at this point. Because it's a large tree, I have here 1,477 people at this point when I did this screenshot. Some people have even more. Not possible to see all of the tree at any given point. So here, this is my son, Ethan, and we're looking at this tree from his perspective. So we are seeing him here on the bottom, and we see his sisters and his parents, us, and uncles and aunts and grandparents and great-grandparents and so on. So it's a family view that shows a person and their immediate family. Each card in the tree shows you name, dates, photo, of course, and these icons. And we can see here 3 different icons, the icons for matches, which are hints to more information that exists on MyHeritage about this person. So the magenta one on the top is the DNA matches. I have a DNA test on MyHeritage, another thing that we provide for members, a very useful genealogical tool, which will give you, once you take the DNA test, matches to other people who took the test on MyHeritage that have similar DNA. So these would be my cousins and so on. The green icon is the smart matches or tree matches, which are links to other trees on MyHeritage of other members that have information about the same person. So this is a great way to learn about your ancestors by getting information from other people who have them as ancestors or as other people in their family tree. And the brown icon, the lowest one here, is what we call record matches, which is links to documents about these people, be it census records, birth records, public records of all kinds, newspaper articles, and also links to trees that are not on MyHeritage, like Family Search and Genie, which is another product that MyHeritage manages outside of the MyHeritage tree system. So this is a very useful tool. And those matches, you will see them in all the different views of the family tree. You will have access to those matches. Another thing that the family view focuses on is reminders about birthdays and anniversaries of people, which allow you to remember that and send them greetings and participate in family events of that nature. Another thing that you will see here is those little mini trees on top of people, in this case, my 2 sister-in-laws, where I also documented, or they have documented their family, so their parents and their brothers and sisters and so on, which do not appear in this view here. But if I click each one of those, it'll expand the tree from their perspective, adding more people, removing other people that are not. And this allows me to navigate the tree and get into all the different areas of the tree. Of course, once I click a person, and this I chose here my grandmother, on the left, we open a panel about this person, which gives you a lot more details that is not possible to show on that little card on the tree. And that will exist in all views that we will see today, later on. In this case, you see here a larger photo, more information about all the different facts about her life, the full date and place of birth. And if you scroll down, you will see other events like burial, death, residence, and so on, occupation, if you have entered any of those, and a biography, which you can enter some text about that person, and more photos about this person, where you can, of course, add photos about people. So this is a way, a quick way to enter information, view information without exiting the tree view. It's very convenient, we think. And you can click on the edit button, either in the panel or in the card itself. You see a little pencil, which allows you to quickly edit the information about a person. So you can enter or modify or add information about their name, information about birth, information about death, information about marriage. These are the basic information that you would want to enter about a person, which or you can click on the edit more, which will bring you to the full profile of the person, where you can enter like sources and other facts and more notes and different things of that nature. And from the panel itself, if I scroll down in the facts list, I can add a fact and edit the fact directly as well. So if I wanted to add an immigration fact, I could do that from here as well quickly. If you move up the tree, you will see that you start getting a lot of those empty add father, add mother cards. This is a very convenient way to expand your tree and to add more information about your ancestors or of ancestors of other people in the tree. So in this case, I have William Lucher, and if I want to add that person's father, I just click on that empty add father card. A pop-up where I can add, the names, the dates of birth, place of birth, and if the person is deceased, I can click that and add information about their death as well. Click OK, and the person is added to the tree. Of course, I can add other kinds of relatives, not just parents that are missing from the tree. At any given point in the tree, I can click on a card. I can go to a card. I can click on the plus icon below the card, which allows me to add relatives. In this case, it will ask me, what kind of relative do I want to add? Be it a child or a sibling, or in this case, another partner, because I already have a partner for this person in the tree. In this case, parents are not there because that person already has parents in the tree. So if I want to add, for example, a daughter, I would click here, the add daughter, and it will allow me to add a new daughter for Ray in the tree. Because Ray is already married, the default will be that it will add the daughter also to her husband. But if you want to add another husband here or add a single parent's daughter, it's also possible by selecting a different father or no father. Another interesting thing that we want to show here is that those X2 icons. So in this case, I have a situation which we call pedigree collapse in the industry. And this basically shows me that these two people exist in the family tree twice. It's not that they are duplicated, it's just that they appear in more than one location in the tree. So I have here Abraham and Haya, which in this case are both the parents of Shlomo, but also the grandparents-in-law of Shlomo, or grandparents of her granddaughter. And that's because you have a situation where, in this case, an uncle married a niece, and therefore it creates a kind of a loop inside the tree. So we're showing you that these are the same people. So this is one of the things that you will see in the family tree. You have also more actions that you can get to from the panel by clicking on the More button. And in this case, you can view their tree, so you can focus on them. You can also connect to existing people and remove connections. This is exactly how you would create the situation where a person married his cousin or niece and so on, or sister-in-law, or whatever that is, that will create these things where you're not just adding a person, but connecting an existing person into another existing person in different ways. Of course, you can also go directly to a person by starting to type their name. So we have a find a person box at the top right of the tree. Over here, I can start typing a name, in this case, Zilber, and it'll find me all the people where their last name or first name has whatever I'm typing, so I can get to that person quickly without looking for them in the tree. And once I click a person in the list of the autocomplete, it'll go directly to that person, so I can go and edit them, or looking at their matches, or add relatives for them, and so on. So that's the person that I looked for. And you can see in the top left part of the tree, it shows you that I'm now looking at the tree of somebody else, and I can go back to the previous person easily, or this list can accumulate this list of breadcrumbs of where I was before, allows me to kind of change the view of the tree and go back to previous people. Another thing that I wanted to show here is these discovery boxes, which act like the add father or add mother boxes that we saw before. But in this case, it uses matches that we have on MyHeritage that we saw before in order to tell you, you don't have those people, but we can, through matches that we found, we can basically tell you who these people are. So if I click here on this discovery box, it'll go to a place where you can quickly add a whole branch of people into the tree based on matches that we found. So if I do this add to your tree, it'll add that person and maybe even other relatives, his parents, his brothers and sisters, and so on. There's more options to this view. If I click on the gear wheel on the top right, it allows me to change the size of the tree so I can have it more condensed, or more people or less people in the tree. There's all controls for whether to show different things like the edit icons and the add buttons that we showed before, and name preferences, whether to show women with their married name or their maiden name or both, and things of that nature. There's lots of options here. So to summarize this basic view, which we call the family view, which we had for more than a decade, it shows a person in the tree and their family around them. It's easy to navigate and get to more branches in the tree, and it focuses really on adding more people to the tree and quickly editing their information. So this is the view that most people use. This is the view that's very helpful and useful in MyHeritage. But there are other. Go here to the second view, which is, if I click here on this view selector, it's called the Pedigree view, which is the second one. Once I click it, you will see a different way of looking at the tree. And in this case, we see that we're looking at the same tree of my son, and it shows only that person, their parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, and so on. This is a classic pedigree view that exists in many other softwares and products, so we have it as well on MyHeritage. We added it maybe 3 years ago or 4 years ago, something like that. You can see that its look is a little different, and I'll get to that a bit later. This is kind of the new and more modern look of our product, and we are going to apply that also to the traditional family view. So here as well, if I click a person, the same person here, my grandmother, you will see a panel with that person's information. Again, it's the same information, just a little bit different than what we saw before, and it's a style that will also be applied to the family view soon. Same here, you can see also an explanation of those matches icon, which I explained before, that I can see as well here and access those matches directly from the panel. Another thing here, we can see more relatives of this person. Because the family view shows you always a person and all their relatives, here in the pedigree view, it only shows parents. Therefore, in this case of my grandmother, it only shows her parents on the right, her husband, and one of her children, my mother. But really, that person also has more children and more siblings that are not appearing here, and that list of immediate family in the panel will show you that, and allow you to click a person and navigate to that person's tree. So this is how you would navigate here to other people in the tree. Again, if you scroll down, you see photos just like you saw before, and all the facts appearing here where you can add and edit individual facts about people. What you see here on the right is arrows that are showing that there could be more people in the tree, or an ability to add more people to the tree if they don't exist. So the same thing that the add mother, add father exists here, but if this is the last person in the view, the gray triangle will allow you to add parents to that person. But if I click on the white triangle, it tells me that there are more ancestors here to look at. And if I do that, it will expand 2 levels of ancestors to what we saw before. So it kind of creates another branch in the tree, and they can continue that if there's even more. So this is how I would navigate to ancestors here in the pedigree view. The pedigree view, to summarize, is it shows a person in the tree and only their ancestors. It really focuses on a history of a specific individual, going back to, their ancestors, their pedigree, where they came from, and removing all the other people that are not their ancestors. And it has a newer design that will soon be applied to the family view as well. Moving to the third view, and that's a quite new view that we added just over a year ago, which is what we call the fan view. I think it's looks very nice. And it is basically how you will get to it here is the third view, which looks like a fan. And this view shows you also, similarly to the pedigree view, one person and their ancestors. So here I have, again, my son, and I have my line, which is the blue and green area on the left, and my wife's line, which is the red and yellow area on the right. And you can see using the colors where the green is my mother, or my son's grandmother, and the blue is father's father, the red is the mother's mother, and the yellow is the mother's father area. And it shows you as a fan, which is more compact and allows you to see more people as a circle. You can also control the number of generations here. By default, it is 6, but you can go all the way up to 10, which will show you a lot of people, and will also show you where you have holes. You can see the areas where you don't have that many generations, where you probably want to do search and add more information to the tree. We also have another layout for this view, which is the color mode. In the color mode, and you will get to it actually by going to the bottom right of the screen. Oops, I can move my mouse a bit. And there is this palette icon, which allows you to change between the 2 views, the text one that we saw before, which with a little bit of color, or completely color with no text. So this is the same view, but just showing the areas of where there are ancestors, and it shows you the 8 ancestral surnames of this person based on those different colors that we saw. So starting from father's father's father on the left to mother's mother's mother on the right, to the red, all the different ones. One of the nice things that we added to this view, because it's so good looking, is an ability to share. So I can click on the share button, and then I can share it on Facebook, on Twitter. And you can even download just as an image if I want to mail it to people. And this is a great way to kind of show off your ancestry by putting it as a nice fan view on your social network. In the same way that we saw in the pedigree view and in the family view, clicking a person in the tree opens the panel. We've seen that before. It's the same thing. You can edit people directly from the view. It's not just an output. It's an actual working canvas where you can modify and add people to the tree. So to summarize, it shows the same people as pedigree view, a person and their ancestors. It's a more visually appealing way and a more compact view. It has the text and color modes and allows you to share pictures of your tree on social media. The last view is what we call the list view. It's a simple view. You get to it by clicking on the rightmost icon in the list, and it shows you all the list of all the, in this case, 1,477 people in my tree. And it's a very long list, so I can scroll down to the bottom and I can control how many people in the page, and I can jump to more and more pages, and I can find people there, and I'll show that in a second. So again, clicking a person will show you the panel, the same one, so you can modify and add information directly from the same view, from the list view, in the same way that we saw it happening in the other views. So in this case, this is my great-grandmother. You can sort the list. By default, we sorted by the relationship, so to you. So in my case here, I will appear first, then my children, then my parents, then my siblings, then my wife, and then grandparents, and so on. So it goes by how far this person is from you. You can also change it by last name, by first name, by birth, death, and so on. Here in this case, I am sorting it by name. Oh, in this case, by birth date. So you can see the people who were born earliest appear in them, or at least that I know when they were born earliest appear at the top of the list. You can, if you sort by first name, one of the things you can do here is spot duplications in the tree, which happen because you might have added the same person more than once. So this is a good way to find these things. You can also filter by different letters of surnames. If I click here on only L, it just shows me all the people where their last name starts with L. And of course, you can search, which is very important. So here I'm starting to type David, and I can say David full name or David last name or so on, and I can control where I'm looking for David. And here in this case, I'm looking for all the people called David. So this is once, of course, you found one, you click and you can edit. So just like we saw before. So to summarize the list view, it lists all the people in the tree, allow you to sort and search capabilities, and it's good for systematic work and for spotting duplications as well. Of course, everything that I showed you here also works on the mobile web. So if you're looking at the website through a phone, all of these things will happen. So you'll have mobile views for all these things. And also the list view, which I did not show here, but that works as well. We also have a mobile app. The mobile app does not support the fan view yet, but that'll be something in the future as well. And just to remind you about working with family trees, we also have Family Tree Builder, which is a software that you can download and run on your laptop outside of the website, and it synchronizes the tree to the website. And there you also have the family view, and we also are adding pedigree view pretty soon. And the fan view might be one of the things that we add later on. What else are we showing here? As I mentioned, the family view, the first view that I showed, has an older looking design, and I'm going to show you what we're working on. Hopefully will be released by the end of this year, barring any global pandemics happening, which could delay things. Here it is. I'm looking here at the same tree that I showed you before, but this is in a different design, which is more in line with the pedigree view and list view and fan view that we have. So it's basically the same information, just more modern look. Clicking a person opens the panel that we saw before in the other views, now applied to the family view as well. So this is The same thing with add parents and discovery cards. One interesting thing that I wanted to mention here is one of the challenges that we have with the family view, and our members are telling us that as well, is that it's quite wide horizontally. Because you're looking at many people in the tree, including cousins and many of, all of your siblings and their children, it can become horizontally very wide. So one of the things we're working on in this new look of the view is to try to make the view more compact. So one of the things that we're doing is that you can see here that those add father and add mother boxes are now narrower, which will make the entire tree narrower as well. Another thing that we're adding is a quick way to change the size of the tree, so we can show less generations, which will make the tree more compact and easier to navigate, so you don't have to scroll horizontally a lot to get to people. And also a way to completely eliminate cousins from the tree, from the view of the tree, which again will make it more compact if you're more interested in more of the ancestors. So this is coming soon. Another thing that we will add also in a way to make it less horizontally wide is to add a vertical card layout, which will make things a bit taller but less wide. So this is something new that we're adding. Another thing that we're going to add soon is a quick way to, this is not really part of the family tree, but it's a little tool that we're adding to the family tree, but we will add it also to other places in the product, which is a way to explain a relationship of somebody in the tree to you. Okay, so here I am in an example, and this is in the list view, but it applies also to the other views, where I am looking at a person here, and in the panel it says that this is your father's cousin's husband's niece, which is quite a mouthful. And I might have many cousins for my father, and their husband's niece could be anybody. And it's not really clear to me today who that person is. So what we're adding is a way to click on this relationship, and it will open up a dialogue, a little window inside that will explain to me exactly who this person is and how they're related to me. So this is my father's cousin, and it explains to me which cousin, and that husband, the husband of the cousin, and his brother and his daughter. So this is exactly who this person is, how they are related to me. So you can expect that to appear in the near future in all the different places in MyHeritage where we are referring to a person, telling you what their relationship is to you, but it's hard to find out what exactly that means. So for example, if you're getting a smart match and it tells you, hey, we have a match for this person, and you're seeing it in the list of matches, it will now allow you to quickly understand how this person is related to you. So this is one little nice thing that we're adding, hopefully by the end of the year. And that will be a nice addition to our tools that allow you to work on your family tree. So this is pretty much it. One thing I wanted to mention is that everything that I showed you here is absolutely free on MyHeritage. There is no need to actually purchase any subscription in order to use any of these tools. We provide them free as part of the basic plan, which includes building a family tree with all the different views. None of this requires a subscription. Subscription are needed for other things like viewing all the records that we provide for you and so on. But building a tree in all the different views is totally free. So that concludes my presentation. And now we will, I think, open the discussion back to questions. Esther.
Thank you, Ori, and thank you for those sneak peeks into all the upcoming features. I know that everyone will really appreciate having the inside view of what they have to come. So thank you for that. I know we had a few comments about the screen being a little fuzzy. Maybe they weren't able to see all the details. So I apologize about that. And all you have to do is open up your own family tree on MyHeritage and just play around with the different views to see for yourself all the different options that Ori was talking about. So, all the different views, just go in and play around with them as Ori described. And if you'd like to rewatch any parts of today's session, it will be available on the MyHeritage Facebook page under the videos section. In addition, all of the Facebook Lives that we've done are there under the video section, and you can rewatch any of them. So just a little reminder about that. Before we get to questions, Ori, I just wanted to read a couple nice comments that we received here. Shell said to us, because of MyHeritage, I found second and third cousins on my mother's side. I had no extended family while growing up, and my mother burned all bridges with relatives. I have such a good relationship with both. It is so nice having more family than I've ever had before. So lovely, so lovely. Thank you for sharing that with us. Let's see, we also have Sherry said, I love finding new family members. We didn't know who we had via Smart Matches. Amazing. So in terms of questions, Ori, we'll start with one that I see we've received a whole bunch. I'm not even going to list a name because we received it a few times. How can our users upload a family tree if they're currently using a different service?
Yes, so there are several ways to create a family tree. Of course, you can start it from scratch by entering about yourself and your parents and your grandparents and so on, and we provide tools for that. But you can also import a GEDCOM, which is a file format that pretty much every software or family tree service provides you to export the file as. So if you're using some other software, or if you are using another web service, they all allow you to export a GEDCOM file, which will include all the information about your family tree that you already created. And then on MyHeritage, there is a way to start a tree by importing a GEDCOM. If you use Family Tree Builder, which is our software, it also allows you to import a GEDCOM there, and then the tree will synchronize up to MyHeritage as well. There's another option if you're using Family Search. There is a way to synchronize your tree from Family Search to MyHeritage. So it'll take a portion of the Family Search family tree around you. So you, your parents, your grandparents, uncles, aunts, and so on, and just bring them over to MyHeritage. So, and then also any changes that you make in MyHeritage, you can then synchronize back to Family Search. So these are the different ways to bring a family tree into MyHeritage.
Great. We have
and again, they're all free, so there's no need to pay for uploading or anything.
Fantastic. We have a question here from Nancy, and she asks, are there icons to show military service?
We didn't add icons to the cards and to anywhere in the tree that show you that this person has military service. We only have icons for our matches, but this is an interesting idea because people want to decorate their tree with decorated war heroes, I guess, pun intended. So that's an interesting thing to do.
Great. We have some really nice comments here. I see Colleen, matches have helped me to confirm my sourcing. Fantastic, fantastic. And C says, the relationship chart that you described, Ori, will help explain half relationships. So I think,
yeah, it's true.
I think it'll be very helpful for a lot of users, that chart in the various different aspects of the site.
I'm assuming half relationship, you mean that where there is a half sibling somewhere in the way. So one parent, but not both, yes. Yeah, the relationship chart will support that as well.
Fantastic. Let's see if we have any more questions here. And by the way, Nancy, about your suggestion for military service, Ori is the one to bring these suggestions to. Yeah. working on these features and these products. He would love, I'm sure, to hear what you would like to see there. Let's see. Kathy said, I didn't know about the family search shortcut. I will definitely check that out. Fantastic. We hope that it helps. Mary Helen says, what if they're adopted and their name is different than the birth name? So I guess how you deal with adoptions in the family tree.
Yes, you can mark a relationship between a child and their parents as adopted if that's the case. Of course, people have a lot of that, so that's definitely possible to do. It may mean that the name is different or not. I mean, many adopted people have exactly the same surname as their parents. That's most likely the case. But you can enter any name that you want and information about adoption as well.
Yvonne has a question. It's more of a genealogy question. Would you recommend doing 2 family trees, one for my mom's family and one for my dad's family?
So yeah, some people do that. It depends on who you're doing this family tree for. I personally always prefer having one, because then if I'm building a tree for my children, for example, so they can view it and work with it eventually, then I would want to create a tree that has both my line and my wife's line. Definitely both my father and mother. But that really depends on how you want to use the family tree. Some people do create different ones, because if you want to specifically share it with your cousins on this side, then you or your brothers one maybe did it, but then there will be overlaps. So so the point is that on MyHeritage you can create multiple family sites that you manage. And so you can create 2 sites, one for your mother's side, one for your father's side. And on one side, you will invite your cousins from your father's side. And on the other one, you might want to invite cousins from your mother's side, and if they don't want to really work on the same tree. So that's an option. If you want a large tree where everybody works on it, and it's more dedicated for yourself and your children, then maybe the option is to do 1 tree. Hope that helps.
Definitely. We have a question. Oh, first I see C wrote, always a treat to hear directly from the people behind the curtain. Thanks for chatting with us. And definitely, we definitely believe in that at MyHeritage, introducing you to all of our amazing developers, engineers, everyone across the board who works on all these amazing products. And we love to show you, to connect our users with our team and introduce you to them. So it's a great opportunity for all of us. We really enjoy doing so. And we have a question here from Cindy, and she asks, can you split a tree to make mine and my husband's family tree separate?
Yeah, so that's a question relating to the previous one. What if you do have 1 tree and you want to split it into 2? We don't have a easy tool for doing that. Again, one thing you can do is, there is a way to using Family Tree Builder to do it, which is our more sophisticated tool, where you can split, not really split a tree, but you can kind of decide on which portion of the tree you want to synchronize with MyHeritage. So in a way you can do that there, but otherwise you probably want to just export the tree as a GenCom and then import it again as a separate tree. And then so now you'll have 2 different trees, and then start pruning people from 1 tree and then pruning the opposite people from the other tree. So but you'll have to do it one by one in a way.
And for more information about a lot of these family tree topics, we suggest that you check out our knowledge base.
Yes.
Education.myheritage.com. We'll put a link in the comment section. We have various articles, how-to videos, and webinars there that will help you do all sorts of family tree actions, such as deleting duplicates or merging people in the family tree. Lots of different things that that Ori wasn't able to get into due to time constraints. So please do check it out. We'll put a link to the MyHeritage knowledge base in the comments. So I think that we will wrap it up, and we will now give out a prize, the MyHeritage Complete Plan, which is the best plan MyHeritage has to offer, unlimited access to 12.5 billion historical records and counting. We add millions of new records all the time. And as well as unlimited family tree size. The family tree views that Ori was showing today are limited to 250 people for the basic plan. So with the complete plan, it's unlimited, as well as free and unlimited access to the MyHeritage Photo Enhancer and MyHeritage in Color, in addition to some other amazing benefits. So the winner of today's complete plan for today's session is Paula Rivers. And Paula wrote, I discovered things from my DNA that were astonishing to me, now hoping that links me to my dad's family, who I've never met before. I've been searching my entire life. So congratulations, Paula. We'll be in touch with you through private message. And we really hope that this complete plan really helps you on your journey and that you're able to connect with your father's family. So congratulations. And thank you so much, Ori, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure, and thank you everyone in the audience, and we hope to see you again next time. We will be posting on the MyHeritage blog a complete schedule of all of our online sessions for October, so make sure to stay tuned for that blog post, blog.myheritage.com, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.